$960 increase for SSI beneficiaries, supplemental security income. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now this video is specifically focused on SSI, supplemental security income. However, I do know that there are a lot of you here in the community receiving other fixed income benefits like Social Security retirement, SSDI, survivors, VA, and RRB, but I do have a lot of other dedicated videos here on the channel for you. But in this one, I do want to specifically focus on SSI because I do also recognize that there are a lot of you here in the community only receiving SSI benefits. So let's get into it and talk about all the details and what your new benefit would look like based on this new $960 raise to your monthly benefits. That's pretty substantial, right? Well, let's get into it and talk about all the details and, of course, the very important numbers that everybody wants to know. Let's jump right into it. However, really quickly before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video. As I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you each and every day, right by your side, doing all the research, breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what is actually going on right now as things are changing very rapidly and as we continue to get all these new announcements hitting the wire each and every day, especially any announcements out of the administration, the president, lawmakers, Congress, and anything that Congress is currently working on right now, including all these new packages, proposals, amendments, new pieces of legislation, reform to very important benefits, and of course, anything in regards to money, benefits, raises to benefits, money, checks, stimulus, or anything else like this. Of course, I want to make sure that you know about it immediately because things are changing very rapidly. It's a very expensive time right now. Money is very tight for the vast majority of people, and I want to point out anything that you can possibly get your hands on right now. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and I'll continue to be here for you right by your side every single day, as that's my dedication and my commitment to you and this community, and as always, I'm sticking to it. All right, thanks again. Let's jump into it and talk about the latest details here that were recently released and how this could translate into a $960 raise to your monthly benefit for SSI beneficiaries, provided you are getting the maximum benefit as of right now in 2022 of $841. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're receiving a benefit that is less than the maximum for SSI right now, the $841, you'll still get a raise or an increase to your monthly benefits. It's just not going to be quite as much. Now, again, that's not my fault, so please don't be upset with me. I'm simply just the messenger bringing you the information here, and I want to break this all down for you because we're looking at a pretty substantial increase to monthly benefits across the board for about 70 million plus beneficiaries who receive all the benefits I've talked about throughout this video, including SSI, Social Security retirement, SSDI, survivors, VA, and RRB. So let's talk about it and get through all the numbers here. All right, so what I want to talk about is the latest inflation data that was released and how this is going to translate into a significant raise to your monthly benefits as SSI beneficiaries. So the cool thing about SSI is that yes, you also do get a raise to your monthly benefit as a result of the annual cost of living adjustment. Now, if you're somebody receiving SSI, obviously you probably already know this. This is no new information. This is not a surprise. You already know that you get an annual raise, not monthly. That sure would be nice, right? Monthly would be certainly nice, but sorry, I meant annual raise to your monthly benefit as a result of the cost of living adjustment. So that's pretty cool. However, based on the latest inflation data that was released, I want to talk through the numbers about this because we're looking at a very substantial raise here. In fact, the largest raise that we've seen since 1981 across the board for millions upon millions of beneficiaries. So let's get into the details here. So the latest inflation that was released is actually showing that inflation was actually at 8.5%. However, that's not the key number that we want to watch. The key number that we want to watch is actually embedded in the report a little bit further, which is the CPIW, which is the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. That's what that stands for. That is the one that we want to watch because that is the one that directly relates to the raise to your monthly benefit as a result of the COLA. Well, as a result of that, it came in at 9.1%. However, with that being said, we're still getting some still getting some preliminary information out of the Senior Citizens League and what they're projecting. And again, the Senior Citizens League is a big advocacy group, which again, you probably want to pay attention to them because realistically, they have some pretty good efforts out there that they're doing, as well as they have some pretty good projections when it comes down to Social Security. And of course, they do have direct contact with Congress as well. So again, you probably want to pay attention to what they're saying. Well, according to their most recent estimates and their preliminary numbers as far as how much this raise could would be for SSI beneficiaries, we're looking at this much, a 9.6% raise across the board, like I said, for about 70 plus million beneficiaries, which would include SSI beneficiaries as well. Well, let me break down those numbers for you because this is actually looking really, really good here, right? So just a few tenths of a percent below a 10% raise. That'd be huge, right? However, let's just anticipate that it's actually going to be 9.6% as the Senior Citizens League is actually anticipating. Well, let me break down the numbers for you. If we're actually assuming the maximum benefit of $841 for SSI in 2022, and again, maybe you're receiving a little bit less than that or, around that range, but either way, let's calculate from the maximum benefit of $841 just because, everybody's benefit might be a little bit different, but I do know that a lot of people that receive SSI are receiving the maximum benefit. So let's calculate from that. Now, an $841 monthly benefit as of right now, applying a 9.6% raise would actually increase benefits by $80 per month from $841 up to $921 every single month. That's pretty nice, right? And again, that's assuming a 9.6% increase. Now, let's run the numbers a little bit further here. As we look at the numbers even further, an $80 raise every single month would actually calculate out to $960 throughout the course of the entire year. That's a substantial raise. You're virtually getting almost an extra $1,000 throughout the course of the year as a result of an SSI beneficiary. However, here's the unfortunate part. Yes, I completely understand. Living on less than $1,000 a month is incredibly difficult for anybody. In fact, I see your comments down below. I've seen many people reach out and say, maybe Congress should try to live on $841 a month. Maybe Congress should try to live on less than $1,000 a month. That'd be a nice experiment. Unfortunately, there's no way that they would ever do that, right? It sure would be nice. It would give them a little bit of perspective and to figure out that maybe these benefits should be increased. I totally agree. That would be nice. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, I don't think Congress is going to take that on anytime soon. So as a result of that, I do understand that this benefit, even with a raise of $80 per month, bringing it up to $921 a month, again, calculating from the maximum benefit here in 2022, would actually still be below the federal poverty line by a few $100s per month. In fact, it'd be below the federal poverty line by about, $210 or so a month as of right now in 2022. However, the federal poverty line in 2023 will also be increasing. So yet again, that federal poverty line will be getting away from us again. And by the calculations that I've looked at, it looks like we're probably going to be below the federal poverty line by yet again about $300 per month. So no matter how you cut it here, SSI benefits, even after a pretty substantial raise, will probably still be below the federal poverty line by around $300 a month. By the way, about $3,600 for the course of the entire year. That's a lot, right? That's a lot, considering the federal poverty line is just basically a guideline that they put in place to kind of determine where people are sitting with their incomes, and anybody below the federal poverty line or around the federal poverty line is generally eligible for a variety of other programs, including utility assistance, internet assistance, what else? Housing assistance, food assistance. I mean, literally, the list goes on and on. I could talk about it in a separate video if you wanted me to. I could break it all down, but if you're somebody receiving SSI, you're probably pretty aware of all these different programs that are out there for you right now to help you out with many of your living expenses. And again, if you're not taking advantage of some of these programs, I would highly recommend that you jump on and start taking advantage of some of these because they're specifically focused on lower income individuals, and those people that receive SSI are in many instances grandfathered into a lot of these programs. So if you ever read through the print on these programs and the eligibility requirements, a lot of times it says, to be eligible for this program, if you're receiving SSI or SNAP or TANF or any of these other benefits, a lot of times they'll say you're pretty much guaranteed to get benefits. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out for you so you can start taking advantage of some of these programs if you are in this position. So either way, when it comes down to it, regardless of what happens here over the next few months when it comes down to this inflation and what Social Security actually announces, regardless of what happens here, it's still going to be a very substantial raise to benefits for 2023 as a result of the inflation that we're seeing right now in 2022. So even though the estimates are coming down a little bit based on what we saw about a month ago, or back in July, I should say, the estimates are coming down a little bit, but the fact of the matter is we're still going to be looking at a very substantial raise to monthly benefits as we move forward into 2023. So how much is actually going to be, that is still to be determined. But as of right now, the preliminary numbers are looking at about a $960 raise throughout the course of the entire year, or about $80 per month for SSI beneficiaries. That's pretty massive, right? But at the end of the day, let's all be real with ourselves at the same time. It is still far below what people actually need right now to live on, because even $921 a month is still pretty difficult to make ends meet, especially as prices continue to get away from us with all this inflation. So anyway, hope you're doing well, but I hope this one breaks it down for you. And then yes, of course, I want to throw this out there really fast because I'm pretty sure I'll see it down in the comment section, which is, well, yeah, this is nice, but you know what? Now all they're going to do is just reduce my SNAP benefit. Well, yeah, unfortunately, that is one of the situations here when we do get a raise like this, is that they do ultimately reduce SNAP benefits. Not a good sign, right? Not a good thing. But yes, unfortunately, this is something that happens as well. And if you're receiving SSI or you're receiving any of these other benefits, you completely understand what I'm talking about. Every single year when you get the COLA raise, you either get the raise and then all of a sudden they take away some of your SNAP benefits as well. So not a good situation, right? But either way, that's what we have to deal with right now. Unfortunately, they have not put any kinds of rules in there that change that or that eliminate that actual reduction to benefits as a result of the annual raise. I don't know. Still seems really weird to me, but again, that's the rules that they have in place. Again, I wish I was in control of this because I would certainly change that, but again, I'm not. I'm just the messenger here. So that's the information that I know for you as of right now. Either way, as I do get more information for you moving forward over the coming days, weeks, and of course months, I will bring it to you in these short videos to help you out in any way that I can by keeping you updated and of course giving back to this community and of course bringing you anything I possibly can. So if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe down below, share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. And of course, go back and check out some of the other videos here on the channel, as there's been some really cool announcements here over the last couple days. If you follow the right videos, you're probably going to get yourself some pretty cool stuff. So I'll leave that out there for you to discover on your own. Check it out here over the last few days. Here's some pretty cool videos coming out. Check those out. Leave your comments down below, and I'll catch you again later in the next one. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it became a little bit helpful for you, and enjoy your day. I'll catch you again later in the next video.